I'm with KLAX Radio, and we were invited to come today for the 50th anniversary of the brewery and also for Hispanic Heritage Month. Where I really see the connection is I've worked with Budweiser in the past in general market, or better yet, non-Hispanic speaking stations, and recently moved to the LA market and have noticed that so many companies, in order to get really huge growth, have to hit this new emerging market of Hispanics, and so that's why we're so involved.
50 years of a relationship between Anheuser Busch and the San Fernando Valley and the city of Los Angeles, and on behalf of the representative from this district, Councilmember Tony Cardenas, Councilmember Greg Smith, and myself, it's really my honor to present this proclamation.
So Anheuser Busch is there anytime the city of Los Angeles needs them. Whether it's supporting important charities and community-based organizations, or in times of crisis like the 1994 earthquake. Anheuser Busch is always ready to help when it comes to water, when it comes to financial contributions, when it comes to employee volunteerism. Anheuser Busch is just a tremendous corporate sponsor and sets the standard for the city of Los Angeles. But when it comes to the community level, because so many people work for Anheuser Busch and Anheuser Busch touches so many families, I can't talk to anybody in my district without running into somebody who has a connection to Anheuser Busch. And so you see the camaraderie on the assembly line, you see the camaraderie on the trucks rolling out each and every day, and you see Anheuser Busch really with a tremendous presence in the community.
I think it's really important when you have certain corporations, that lend in their time and money to organizations like this.
This helps raise the profile, helps people understand that we have a large and diverse community that needs to be represented.
That's what we're doing, educational programs. When I ask you for money, that's what it's going for.
Nosotros should be very proud to have a Jerry Velasco who pushes the entertainment industry to hire the Latino in terms of positions that make us proud, like we're seeing today for the first and few times in many years. We're #1 in LA, #1 in New York, #1 in Miami, #1 in San Antonio, and #1 in Hartford, Connecticut. We're #1 in the nation minority, but we're also the #1 in the Western Hemisphere. We have #1 titles. On behalf of Anheuser Busch companies who have been working with the Latino community for 100 years, muchísimas gracias on behalf of Jesus Rangel.
We appreciate the support that Anheuser Busch has provided to MALDEF over many years. That support has been very critical to ensuring that the nation's premier civil rights organization for Latinos, which is MALDEF, has the opportunity to do what other organizations can't do. And that opportunity is to use the law to protect, to use the law to preserve, to use the law to promote the rights, the civil rights and the civil liberties of individuals in our community.
And all 7 of those offices are represented here so that we can ensure that our strategy is one that makes sense for the nation.
So we applaud Anheuser Busch for having the vision of supporting MALDEF and organizations like ours to ensure a very strong fabric in our democracy. So thank you very much, Anheuser Busch.
Budweiser created this relationship with the Denver Latino community about 24 years ago, and that is one dedication that we are proud to have. And it's nice to know that we have a local corporation that truly believes in the importance of the Hispanic Chamber Education Foundation and the scholarship opportunities that we're able to provide.
I think Anheuser Busch is right on target with their marketing approach, and that's why they're #1 in the Hispanic community. They are #1, and most Latinos, Chicanos prefer Budweiser products, and we love them for the support.
I would just say, thank you to Budweiser and all of our other corporate sponsors for this, for their support, and we hope, during tough economic times, we get worried, because, corporate contributions get a little bit tighter, and we hope that we can continue to make the case that raising dollars for scholarships for our children is an important task. And I hope that corporate America will continue to support our efforts.
Colorado produces more beer than any other state in the country, so it's a very competitive environment. We're obviously in one of our larger competitors' backyard. But we're owning Breckenridge this weekend with both big events, and we're having a lot of fun doing it.
Anheuser Busch has been a long-standing partner with NCLR, and in fact, when a lot of folks in the private sector weren't really stepping up to work with organizations like ours, Anheuser Busch was there. And to me, there's a very special relationship when you have someone who's been a long-standing partner with you. And so we are very much appreciative of that interest that they took in us long ago. We'd like to grow that partnership and see that be developed even more fully as we move to the future. The values that represent our culture are assets to anyone who will embrace them. That strong sense of faith, that strong sense of family, a strong sense of community, a sense of optimism, knowing that out of our culture comes a long tradition of hard work and sacrifice. Our building that we have purchased and own here in Washington, D.C., which is now the NCLR headquarters, 4 blocks from the White House in the heart of Washington, D.C., to know that we can dedicate that to Raul Izaguirre and name it after him is going to be a very special night, I hope, for him, and I know for all who will be present. And I think in history, I think it will be an important moment for our community.
Well, number one, I think Janet will do a very good job. I think the organization is on an upward trajectory. I think she'll maintain that and take it to new heights. She is much more media conscious and media savvy than we were before she came on board, so I think that's good. I'm sure she'll do very well. Well, Anheuser Busch has been a friend of the Latino community for a very long time, and they've been a friend of the National Council of Raza. In the last 2 or 3 years, we finally got to the position where we were thinking together about what made sense, and I want to distinguish that between relationships where we just negotiate and relationships where we do much more than negotiate. We say, what can we do that's in the best interest of the community, is in the best interest of the company, is in the best interest of the organization. So a level of trust and a level of commitment that comes after experience and understanding is exactly where we want to be. Corporate America works best with Latinos when there's a long-term relationship, when there is a win-win situation. And it takes creativity, and it takes time, and it takes effort to get there. But if you can get there, it really makes for a solid, rewarding relationship on both sides. Latino organizations and the corporate community is the area of advocacy. There have been a few, but wonderfully few, corporations who are willing to stand with us on these negative propositions, 187 in California and 200 here in Arizona. And we're never going to forget that. You know, we're going to always remember those corporations who not only wrote a check and sponsored an event, but were with us and put some of their own interest on the line for a principle. And so my hat goes off to those companies that go beyond the normal and take a chance, because that's the kind of thing that's going to stay with us for a very long time. When they were the only ones who had enough courage to say, you know, this is wrong, this is America, this should not be happening in this country, and we're going to stand by our principles.
When you say Budweiser, you're gonna like this at the front office.
I love the beer. This has been one of the most gratifying things in my whole life, because I not only got to bring all these talented and deserving artists to the forefront, but I got to travel with them across the nation and see what their impact was. We have established attendance records in every single museum that we've gone to. Every single one.
What better way to end that tour than to welcome it with the first Latino mayor in 133 years. And then, as we do, we'll have a big party.
And if it wasn't for corporate America and
companies like Anheuser Busch, the arts would not grow, would not even live, and certainly would not have the visibility and travel abilities that this show has. I want to thank Anheuser Busch for all its support for the Chicano show, which is about to take off the Chicano portfolio, which is a collection of prints from Chicano Visions. If it wasn't for corporate America, we wouldn't have art in this country at this particular time, and I want to thank you very much.
Incredible corporation for me. I've been here 25 years, so I've got to meet them all. And they were one of my favorites. They continue to be, and I hope they just come back now.